Madgen is an excellent shooter for the Sydney-Kings. I'll give you his resume in a minute. Trigger, nicknamed Trigger for a very good reason. Luke Neville doing what the Melbourne-Tigers paid him to do, cleaning up the mess. Offensive rebound and a putback. Lead's been cut down to 2.
Luke Neville had a great career at college. Spent the last year in the NBA D-League, being with the Boomers program. He's hopeful of another shot one day of getting back in the NBA. This playing time he's going to get this year is going to do him the world of good.
Madgen's off the mark. And that's a very good look for him.
Down low, Blagojevic just trying to deny the big fella Matty Burston down low. And they're in the bonus, and that's going to send Matty Burston to the line. Blagojevic getting another job. He's a little upset at the call. Soft one down low. He's a quality player. He came to China earlier in the year. I took him on a team and a tour over there. He shoots the ball well, runs the floor, good body down low. Expect him to have a big season if he gets that opportunity with the Sydney Kings. And there we see the foul. Very, very touchy down low. Just trying to clean it up. You see Blago's reaction. Probably not so happy with it.
Now Westover making some major moves in the offseason after that disappointing season last year, not making the playoffs. 5 straight NBL Grand Final appearances. That is amazing.
And all the luck he had in those 5 years, he gave back in 1 year. The injury problems the Tigers faced last season were unprecedented. And we see the Tigers have a look at their zone. A little 2-3 zone. You'll probably see a lot more of that from the Tigers this year with their size.
Cooper, shot clock down to 3. Nice cut by Julian Khazzouh. Perfectly timed with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
It was, and that's what I was talking about before when we talk about their ball movement. They were very patient, worked it around, found the passing lane, and good delivery to get it into Khazzouh down low. Great to have a quality player like Julian Khazzouh back in the NBL as well. Played last season in Israel. He is a quality player. Couple of seasons with the West Sydney Razorbacks, really emerged as a talent.
Campbell has the ball deflected. Shot clock down to single figures already. They haven't done anything in the offense. Neville rips it through. Nice block by the weak side of the Sydney Kings defense, either Julian Khazzouh or Taj McCullough. The result goes to the Sydney Kings on this possession. Skip pass to McCullough. Nice feed into Khazzouh. And Luke Neville will be charged with this personal foul as the Sydney Kings continue to pound the ball inside to their big.
Exactly. They're not intimidated by the big fellas. And down low, Julian Khazzouh doing a great job. There's the foul. Ben Madgen is number one for the Sydney Kings. Really keen to see how he comes on. His record playing at Augusta State, Division II school in the United States. All-time leading scorer in that school's history and averaged 18 points a game in his senior season. I don't care what league you're playing in, they are some great numbers.
Well, Andrew, you know we can have a stat competition right here, but he was an all-time leading scorer in the conference's history, the Peach Belt Conference, and there have been some scorers there.
And his school retired his jersey, his uniform number.
And I don't care who you play for, if you wear the #1 jersey as Damian Ryan knocks down a 3-point shot.
Put on the line, I think, Steve. Definitely would have been a 3 last season.
Yeah, you just can't casually say that when a guy lines up from the perimeter anymore. That's a long way. A few rule changes, we can go over those as the season starts to unfold. Andrew Gaze behind the scenes. Rule committee. You wear a lot of different hats, my brother.
I had nothing to do with that rule committee, Steve. That might be Papa Gaze. Had a little bit more to do with it than Junior Gaze.
Nice feed into Luke Neville. Taj McCullough comes over from the weak side and make him earn it from the foul line.
Well, with some of those changes we touch on now as they go to the line and shoot 2, you see the wider keyways. They've gone to a keyway which is very similar to the NBA, and there you see TJ Campbell, great pass down low, getting it to Neville. But those wider keyways, and also you see the little semicircle underneath the basket, if you're standing in that semicircle, you cannot take a charging foul. So that, combined with the wider keyway, should open up some driving lanes, and hopefully we see some of these flashy players coming down in the middle and stuffing it in the hoop a little bit more often.
And some athletic players have joined the NBL competition this year. We'll see one of those players, Craig Winder, playing for Adelaide on Sunday, and he can get upstairs in a hurry. As Julian Khazzouh is fouled on that offensive rebound. The Tigers committing a lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers. It's been somewhat disjointed start for the Melbourne Tigers with that big roster.
They have. They've had, you see the penetrating lanes. They're just opening up. They've got to contain the ball, stop that penetration. And a lot of fouls being called on the Melbourne Tigers. In total, there's been 13 fouls called collectively.
Khazzouh gets the second one as well. 20-13. 7-point lead over the Melbourne Tigers in front of their home crowd. A little quiet.
Haven't had a lot to scream about at the moment.
You know, when your team is only shooting 3 for 13. As Corletto pull-up jump shot is short. Khazzouh with the rebound.
Well, it's fair to say that this has been a pretty ugly start by the Melbourne Tigers. Really not getting it done on the offensive end.
One down, guys, one down.
Kings will go for the last one. Sorry, Andrew.
No, full credit to the Kings, though. Outstanding start by them.
Oh, Damian Ryan with a bomb outside the three-point line. About 3 feet behind the extended three-point line as the Sydney.Kings get a huge one from Damian Ryan, take their lead out to 10. Outstanding start for the Sydney.Kings as they jump out in front of their arch rivals, the Melbourne Tigers. We'll be back right after. Welcome back to the cage. The Sydney.Kings with a 10-point lead over the Melbourne Tigers as they try and extend on that. The alternating possessions gives them the basketball to start the second quarter.
Al Westover gave the Melbourne Tigers a fair old bait during that quarter-time break. And we talked about the Tigers being ugly, as where we see another penetrating dish from Damian Ryan, but that Tigers score in the first quarter of 13 points is the lowest scoring first quarter since they scored 11 versus the Bullets in 1987. We're making history here on 1HD for the first time, Steve. And even worse to come, the Tigers went on to lose that game by 51.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen tonight. Nice little drive and bucket by Daryl Corletto, gets one in the paint. Damian Ryan must feel the heat monitor going. Bingo! Another bomb as Damian Ryan continues to light it up outside the three-point line. 28-15 to the Sydney.Kings.
Jeez, that's some shooting by Damian Ryan. He spent last season an injury-plagued season in the ABA competition, but he's coming out and making up for it. And Matty Burston hits a perimeter shot.
Well, Tigers have come out. Corletto gets the first bucket. That time Matt Burston shot the basketball with a lot of confidence. Was trotting back before the ball even went through the hoop. Imagine Blagoyev. He can light it up from the perimeter as well. Ryan jumping up in the air, nowhere to go. Devendorf looking for a jam, but he just ran out of steam on that elevation, lays it up. I'm sure the Tigers will take it any way they can. We'll have a look at that. Just terrible pass. Devendorf goes upstairs.
Never leave your feet, Steve. Learned that very early on.
Well, this timeout is brought to you by centerbet.com. Don't just watch it. Don't just watch it, Andrew.
We're not just going to watch it this year, I tell you. And the Sydney.Kings, did I mention, Steve, that the coaches thought that this team was going to win the wooden spoon in the preseason poll? They're not playing like that early on. They look very composed. And this is a Sydney.Kings team that's only going to get better throughout the season. They got Luke Martin to come back in. He did a great job coming in last season for the Wollongong Hawks. And Ben Knight, who's coming off a horrific knee injury, but he's been a long-time servant of the NBL with a variety of different teams. He is a quality player. When they get those two back in the lineup, they're only going to get better.
Well, not just the coaches, as we saw the Cinebet graphic up there. The Tigers were heavy favorites coming into this game, starting off originally at $1.43, going down to $1.39. The Kings at $3. I don't know a whole lot about betting, but that sounds like a lot of money.
Well, right now, that $3 is looking pretty good. The Tigers are sticking with their zone defense, 2-3, just trying to pack it in, protect the paint, protect the penetration. They're not getting it done individually as Benny Lewis comes into the lineup. Seeing some early action.
Julian Khazzouh having trouble with that size, and why not? Big Wade Helliwell back into the game. Teams up with Matt Burst and his Daryl Corletto. Mr. 250 games has that one rim out.
Line drive with Daryl, very flat shot. Benny Lewis is an interesting story. Son of one of the truly great players in the competition, Benny Lewis Sr.
Julian Khazzouh off the window. That time he goes right at the bigs, right into the body, able to put that one down.
Kings are they're playing fearless basketball, Steve. Just getting down there, look like they got no pressure, not carrying any burdens, and just playing free scoring basketball.
Benny Lewis on a curl cut as we get another look at Julian Khazzouh making a strong move in between the two bigs. And then Benny Lewis Jr. will go to the foul line. And he is, I think we should be seeing a lot of him, because I watched him shoot the basketball in the warm-ups. Got a beautiful stroke, super athletic. And he played his AAU ball with Greg Oden and a lot of NBA stars.
And as we said, comes from great pedigree. He's a supreme athlete. He goes way upstairs. He got those elbows up near the rim when he goes to the rack. And last year with the star-studded lineup, never got his opportunity, but this year he had a great season in the Big V competition here in Victoria. I think that's done his confidence the world of good.
Can play. Taj McCullough got a soft pass. Benny Lewis was able to close out on him quickly. Luke Cooper gets it to Dan. Little lefties off the mark. Khazzouh keeps it alive, and he'll go to the line once again for 2 shots. Kings active on the glass also.
Steve, Julian Khazzouh has been extremely impressive tonight. He's owning the glass, and he's got 10 points to his name.